Hey there, fish keepers. Dean here, bringing you an update. All kinds of things have changed in my fish room, starting off with the nano tank here. Got some Sundanio axelrodi in here just the other day. I've only got 3. There were supposed to be more, but they didn't ship well, so I only ended up with 3. My little chili reservoirs are in there too somewhere, and you can see my rosy loaches too. But the Sundanio are the new guys. They have to go into the light to show the blue on them, but we've got tons of new things in here because I'm going to be off work for the next 3 months, recovering from hip surgery, so I wanted to make sure I had lots to do with my fish tanks because I'm basically living in this room. So you get I'm doing this on my knees because I'd have to use my crutches. So next is the continuous breeding setup. Nothing, or Praldanio continuous breeding setup. Nothing new in here except that they've totally started to repopulate again after I'd taken all of them out and grew them up, and now I've got a whole bunch of like medium-sized ones and a whole bunch of little dinky guys. So the CPDs are continuing to go crazy with the breeding, which is not surprising. Next I have my my oldest setup here, which I managed to pick up fish that I've wanted for a long time, Pseudomagil avansoni, and there's one Carlin Creek rad in there, which was a tragedy. They put a rock in this tank and I don't know, something leached out, but I lost all the Carlin Creek rads. I've got some Siri Creek rads, which are also new, so they're in another one of the tanks. But the avansoni are super beautiful little guys, but this tank doesn't show them off too well. I had to move the light close to the front, but they're a pretty little fish. I've already got fry from them, so, or I think I have fry. It's hard to tell. When you're on a lot of medication, you don't make very good decisions with the eggs that you pick and where you put them. Of course, my goldfish are still here. They're up and about. Nothing's changed there. Nothing's really changed in my Fricata breeding setup here, other than that these guys have stayed awesome. Well, I guess the thing that has changed is that they're getting old and they're starting to not produce very many eggs. So I'm going to have to pick out the best of the fry that I have left over here, and well, actually I've been holding back the best anyway, so I've got to just switch them up, and they're almost mature enough, so we'll be able to replace these guys, and these guys get to retire in the 90 gallon, so it's actually going to be awesome having them in there. They'll look really good. And a whole bunch of new stuff in here. You can actually see my reed tetras today. That's the first tetra I've ever bred, was reed tetras. They just spawned in here. The little blue eyes that you see in there are Gertrude, Pseudomagil Gertrude, the spotted blue eye. And I've got a bunch of fry from those guys. They're a gorgeous fish, and that's something else that is new in the fish room as well. So I've got, I think, more new things than old things. So that's that tank. And then one of the main new things that I've got, which was crazy right before my surgery, I was pulling spawning mops from these guys because I wanted to get a bunch of fry as quick as I could because I like them so much. I got Melatonania Kalitawa fry in here, along with, I believe, some Avansoni and some Gertrude. I was picking, eggs were hatching, I was moving fry and stuff, and I was on narcotics, so they went where they went. I'll figure it out when they get big, but I know that most of these are Kalitawas, so I've got them in 2 setups. This one's here is at 78 degrees and the other one's at about 72, and I think I got around 100-ish. And then I stopped picking. I was super excited about the eggs at first, and then, well, the rainbow fish. So yeah, I get lots of eggs and many fry. So this is my grow out tank for red neon rainbow fish. and Celestial Pearl Daniels. There's a few new things in here. You can see these guys will probably come to the front if I get up close here. They usually like to, they think they're going to get fed. Now they'll start moving towards the front. There's loads of CPDs in here. I was trying to catch red neon rainbow fish in this tank. All I could do is fill my net full of CPDs. It's just ridiculous. But yeah, there's tons of fish in here. So this is one of my grow outs. This is like my room temperature grow out. But I got some new plants. I did get a Madagascar lace plant here, but it hasn't really grown yet. So it's just starting. And a few, I got more tiger lotus from my tiger lotus. It sends runners out, and I've got tiger lotus everywhere now. But, oh, Schisma gladys praetori, what an awesome plant. This little guy right here in the middle. It's doing, I put it in 3 different tanks to start out with. It's doing good in all of them. So room temperatures, 82 degrees. Just throwing out new leaves. Looks like its roots are growing. I got it stuck to a piece of wood in another tank that I'll have to show you. And I got some cryptocorn pontederifolia. Super hard to say, but I got that at the Edmonton Aquarium Club auction. Now, this tank is like the biggest mess of fry. This is the one there. I really don't know what I got for fry. This has got a whole bunch of things that I had since I was a kid in it, like log, and then that house that's in there that you can barely see is, I had that since I was 5. So there is red neon rainbow fish, Gertruda, and I think Ivansophia, and there could even be rads in here. I don't know. I was on medication. And then this tank here, like normally there hasn't been a lot of changes to this tank, except that it turned out awesome. I really like it. That's just crypt parva in rocks, like round, like river rocks. And I really like it. It's just the way that they grow in there and they start replicating. Just looks so cool. I really want to do a scape with that, but tank looks pretty good. It's just a little spec 5. This one's actually nothing's changed except it went from more moss to more subwasser tanks. So now the subwasser tank is trying to be a moss and growing over top of all the wood that's in there. It's another spec 5. This tank here is just like some extra plants for different tanks. And sometimes I breed fish in there. And then this tank here hasn't changed other than it's been completely taken over by pennywort. It's like pennywort jungle in there. And that's my black bar endler colony that's kind of I've had for about 15 years. It's got some guppy in it too, but it's about as close to black bar as I can get. This is craziness. I have to do a whole other video on it. There's a lot of fry in here. A lot. So this is Corydoras garryi and 6 pandas because I picked out a spawning mop. So this is a whole new tank that I put together to go right beside my bed where I have to spend most of my time recovering. It's super hard to, like right now I should be on my crutches, but for the video it'll be quick. I've mostly been on my knees so far. This is my grow out for my Fricata and red neon blue eyes. So I threw the garryi in here and had a bit of a spawn, and I'm kind of saving the video and all that kind of stuff for a presentation to the club. But they're absolutely gorgeous fish. This is kind of like a bucket list fish. So I was looking for Pantanellensis, and Curtis Jerome with Source Aquatics had these garryi, and he said, I think these are actually nicer. And when I looked at them, I said, yeah, they are. I want them. But I spent way too much money, but now I got 100 babies, so I'm good with that. And then I was talking about Kalitawa, and there's my Kalitawa down there. This is going to be like a riverscape, but I had a, like, when you're just had surgery, you're not in the condition to be able to remove a lot of hair algae. So it really took over. So as soon as I was able to get up and get moving, I took out a lot of the hair algae. The other fish that I got in here is Rednocentris ornatus. This is Siri Creek, and they're so gorgeous. I like them as much as the Kalitawa. I'd never kept rads before, and I gotta say they are so rad. I love them. They're great. I'm always gonna have those kind of fish. From now on, I'll always have the Kalitawa too. They're super gorgeous. They've got such a awesome flasher on them that flashes red. It's really neat. My daughter actually seen it for the very first time. She was looking at the tank, and I said, "Do you see it? Do you see it?" And she's like, "Yeah, yeah." And then about 3 minutes later, she's like, "I saw it." So she didn't see it. She was just kind of making me happy. And she was totally stoked on it. And I guess she explained it pretty good. She's like, it sort of looks like when you put your thumb over top of a light and you can see red through it, which is a really good way of explaining it. I've never explained it to anybody like that before, so I thought that she explained it quite well like that. But this tank's going to be super cool. I'm going to have an extra pump on it, and it's going to be fast going over top of those rocks there, and it's going to be more like a natural escape. I don't even want to look at that mop. It's been up for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks since my surgery. It's so full of eggs, I'm sure, but I'm going to see maybe maybe there'll be some that survive. I don't know. But anyway, still lots more new stuff around here. Yeah, so this is like my recovery tank, so I'll show you the setup there. Now I got to grab a crutch here because we can't. I was mostly kneeling, so I really don't want it. The leg is not good enough yet to not go without a crutch. I can kind of shuffle around, but this is my recovery tank that I have. So this is where I lay, and this is the view that I have when I am recovering from my hip surgery. So just sneak up onto here, and yeah, I got a wicked Barclaya longifolia right in there. Just gorgeous plant. I really love it. Lagonendra. I got some cryptocorn green gecko given to me by Anne-Marie. Some Anubias pinto. And then, like, this is always like a crazy gong show going on, this little grow tank here with all the Fricatus and the red neon rainbow fish. So that's what it looks like. But one of the coolest things that I set up right beside my head was this little log here. So the cories come in here, and there's a little cave in there too, so they always hang out in there. It's pretty awesome. So that's what I get to like lay beside while I'm getting better. And then this is totally changed because I just took out all the fry that I was putting into it. But it's kind of cool. My daughter set this up like 5 years ago. I kept the scape the same. I thought it was weird at first, and then actually I really like it. It's grown a ton of fish. It's probably one of my most stable tanks I've ever had. This is a older tank with some of my antlers in it, but it's been really stable too. Good tank. It hasn't changed. Ugh, sorry guys, but it's super hard for me to move around at times. Another angler tank. Green jade tank, that hasn't changed. I had to grab a crutch there. Oh, this has got the most evil little Gertrudii in it. This little fry has killed like 20 of, there he is, 20 of his siblings, that guy. There's Fricatus in there too, but that bigger Gertrudii, like he must have killed 20. He's just super aggressive. And then these are my Gertrudii that are new as well. They're usually showing off. I was thinking, oh, there they go. like, I don't know. This is probably one of my favorite fish that I've ever kept because they just display all the time. Like, I don't know. Anybody who walks by, I'm like, check out those fish right there. They're probably showing off and like, they are. Yeah, you can see like this little guy here is, I don't know, there's I think 4 males in there and 5 females, and they're just constantly showing off. So I love these fish. They're one of my favorite fish that I've ever kept. Their mop I don't want to check either because that's been in there for 3 weeks. It's got like algae growing on it. Because the thing that was really hard for me to do was get up and move around and check things. My wife like brought me eggs, and like those Gary guys spawned while I was totally gimped out. Same with the Kalitawa. My wife actually basically did all the first feedings on the Kalitawa, which was pretty awesome. She did a really good job. There was not much fighting, but a little bit, because she doesn't know exactly how to take care of my tanks. It's like, really, that's a breeding tank. You can't do that. So it's like, but how would she know that? The only person who knows how to take care of my tanks is me. This tank here I've had set up for a long time, like 15 years. But I've got a figure 8 puffer in here, Miss Puff. I don't know if she'll come on. She's usually, like, she's always out begging for snails, but we'll see if she comes out. Because I really spooked her when I just cleaned the glass for you guys before I did this video, which I hope you appreciate, because man, when I watch a fish room tour and the glass isn't clean, I'm always a little disappointed. Just saying, clean your glass. Where's Miss Puff? She's mad. She got terrified. Oh, my daughter fed her a snail today anyway, so she might be satiated. And then for the last, I can't go upstairs because I can't go up the stairs. So there, I'll just give you a view of where I get to lay beside these tanks, which is so awesome. I like fall asleep watching them. Except I can't go see my Kalitawa. It's very good. That sucks, but I have to lay down on the floor and I get sore. But there's some new, oh yeah, there's more Kalitawas in here. I wanted to do them at 2 different temperatures. This is room temp. So this is my Kalitawa in Rakia. I'll try and get in here quick. So there's Rakia in there. And then I put microworms on top of it. They slowly go in there. I also get brine shrimp and stuff too, but I got the whole grow up go into here, and daphne, white worms and tissue culture, you name it. I got it going. But I did get a few new fish also for this tank here, and also moved some fish into it, into the 90. My lotuses have been going crazy for sending off runners. I've got runners everywhere, but this guy right here, he's a total runner sender. But I got a couple of Melanitania. Of course, they don't look very good right now, but Australis, because I got this Splendidas, always been chasing my Congos. I figured that would give her something to do, but it didn't. She just chases my Congos, trims up their tail fins. Oh yeah, and yesterday I posted a video of my Congos spawning, and for you guys to check out, and it turned out pretty cool. I got them actually spawning, but they're just such gorgeous fish. But I was trying to keep them from being harassed, but it didn't work out. And I moved my daughter's fish that were in a 10-gallon, that little 10-gallon that you see. This is like, it's kind of turning into a retirement tank. These are leopard danios that are ancient. I actually found the receipt for them the other day. They're like 4 years old and they look it. Thanks for checking out my fish room with me, and I hope to get better soon, and you have yourself an awesome day. Happy fish keeping.